Wonderful. You're welcome to Changes.
Thank you.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
Who dressed you?
So my dress is by my all-time favorite designer, Okodia's Closet. Yes, she's the one that did this for me.
Vaginal Jesus.
Yes.
First of all, I'd like to say I'm so happy that you're actually telling your story, because a lot of people are shy. They're afraid of the stigma.
Yeah.
And the talk about women or females, let me just put it in that perspective, females who are suffering from this to some extent, and they are living in closed doors, closed mouths. So thank you. Thank you. I appreciate, as a sister,
I mean,
thank you so much.
It was about time. I don't know, for the longest time I was also feeling like I couldn't talk about it. But then I was on admission in May at 37, the 37 Military Hospital. And then I realized that I am in the queue to see a gynecologist, and I seem to be the only non-pregnant person in the queue. Then I was like, it was about time. I mean, no matter how long I wait for, at some point I was still going to tell the story. Might as well tell it now.
At what point did you realize that, hey, whether I like it or not, I'm going to be living with this?
I think for me, it was by the 5th surgery.
And that was what year?
And we're talking 2016.
Right.
Yes. And I was still doing, there's this therapy that I do, that you have to do after you get the vaginoplasty done. And the moment I was told that I would have to do the dilation therapy for the rest of my life, I knew that this was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know what this is, like I said, vaginal agenesis is being born technically without a vaginal hole, so to speak. But I'll let her dive more into that, her story, just so you have a clear picture of what we are talking about. How did your parents take this?
I think for my mom, she thought it was like somebody was doing her, you know?
Right, so
because
spiritual influence.
Yes, because nobody has that in her lineage, nor my dad's. And so the very first time that we were told that, she was like, meaning, I know it's bad, because where we used to live, because she says I was her easiest birth. When I was born, when she went into labor, my father went to grab the car, and by the time he rounded the corner and then came back into the house, I was already out. She was already holding me, so she didn't understand why her easiest breath had to be this way. But for my dad, I mean, he's a man, so it's like he's expected to be strong. And I know that even in the face of all of that, he was trying to be strong and everything. There were days that you could tell that he wasn't strong enough, but he seemed to be the one that, you know, held me down. He would hold my hand. He would take me. I think throughout Kolebu, the coming in and the coming out, he was the only person that I was going, because my mother couldn't handle it. Yes, and already my mom had done that. So the thing is, when I was born with neonatal ascites. That is when your baby, 9 months, everything, but they're born with underdeveloped organs. And so my mom had to do all of the back and forth. We initially went to Princess Hospital in Koforidua. They couldn't do anything, so they referred us to Children's Hospital in Accra. Children's Hospital too couldn't do anything. And neonatal ascites has your baby's tummy very big, it's very distended, and then it's filled with fluid. And so it was from Children's Hospital that we were told to go to Kolebu. And at the time, I was just like about 2 or 3 weeks old as a baby. And then from there, Dr. Pedu Mensah, who ironically is the first doctor that separated
the congenital twins.
Yes, he was the same person that did that. So I mean, it was good. I got that surgery done. Nobody thought much about it after it was done, up until 2011 when I started to have the pain. And a lot of people don't know this. I was also born with 6 fingers, and so they had to cut.
Wow.
Yes. So, Wow.
So you technically started having surgeries right from birth.
Yes.
You were going through it.
I was.
So 2011, how old were you?
I was 12.
12.
at the
They started
time.
feeling the pain down there.
I started feeling the
What
pain.
was the cause? Was it because your menses were not menstruating?
So yes,
Clearly.
yes. So the body is processing the menses, but
Yeah,
there's
because
no
you're reaching puberty.
Yes,
Right.
there's nothing to hold it, and there's no way for it to come out. So it was just returning back to my stomach, and whatever organ that I guess the blood could find, it was just there. And so my abdomen was becoming distended and very turgid. And then if I stood there and you looked at me, you could see it move. So initially they even thought I had gotten pregnant. 12 years old, how am I going to get pregnant? But the very first hospital that we went to, it was a private hospital. They didn't know what was going on. And so they had a laparotomy done. They scooped up the blood and they told us, oh, it's fine. It was just, it's some sort of inside type thing.
So they didn't even physically check.
No. I mean, we got the abdo-pelvic scans done. And just because they saw the look, initially they even thought it was just fluid.
Right.
They didn't know it was blood. It was up until they opened up. Mind you, the pain started in 2011. We didn't get the first, at this point is the third surgery done till 2013. So the blood had been collecting for 2 years. So when they opened up and then they saw that it was blood, it had become, we have a specimen. I think my dad still has it. They put it into a little tube for us as a souvenir to go back home with. Yeah.
You had blood locked up in you for 2 years.
For 2 years. And it had become very dark, almost solidifying.
Color. I mean, if there was any probably open anywhere, you'd probably even hear the smell because blood
is, so they scooped it up and told us, oh, I was fine.
How can you be fine?
So we went back home. 2 months later, the pain had come back. So we had to go back to the same hospital. They opened me up again, scooped up the rest of the blood. And then my father was getting very angry at the point because he was like, we keep coming back here. You're not telling us anything. You keep opening the girl up and sewing her back up. And the pain is still there. And it was until then that they told us, okay, they know another doctor. Unfortunately, he's not in Ghana. So we will have to get in contact with him and then talk to him and see. At this point, my father had given up. And so he said, okay, you know what? While we're doing the physicals, we should try and double in the spirituality. And we're Pentecostals. So we knew that even if he's talking about like the spiritual, we're still going to take the God route. And so the Synagogue Church of All Nations came in. We decided Nigeria, we're going to go to Nigeria and then get some prayers or a miracle.
I remember the part when you were telling your story, yes.
Safe to say, did not see.
Of course.
The only thing they gave us was
the
little
things that they sell.
Yeah.
They said water and oil and those things.
Put it in my hair, put it in my food, in my drink. At some point I was really tired because the thing has a smell. So if you put it in my drink and in my food, I don't know, me too, my liver is hanging on for dear life, so we cannot be doing that. And at the point, my father was like, you know what, okay, he knows what he's going to do. Thankfully, where he works, he's in very good relationship with the US. And so he traveled out, got the contact of the doctor that we needed and all of that. Because for what was going on with me, at the time, we didn't even know the name of it. We had not even started our consultations at
So there was no diagnosis yet?
Yet, no. We were just carrying along the scans that we had done at the previous hospital. This was what we had. And so my father got all of the details that he needed, and then the doctor said, and then he told the doctor that even if the need be for us to come there, he's willing to do that. Thankfully, Dr. Karim said he was coming down to Ghana for vacation, so he's willing to take the case. And now, that was when we had to restart the entire scans and tests again because we couldn't use the one from the previous hospital. We couldn't trust it. And so the Accra Diagnosis Center became my new home. We were there every single week. And it was terrible for me because before any test, they would have me drink this 1.5 liter of Voltic water.
Yes, to extend
and it was so bad. And as you can see, I don't have visible veins. So they kept poking and poking. By the third week, my father was already tired. And he told them that, okay, his mother, my grandmother, may her soul rest in peace, she said, okay, if they're checking my hands and this part and they're not getting any vein, they can check my leg or shave a part of my head and then they'll get some. And she was right. When they say shave my head, I say, hey, Nobody shaving anybody's head here, because I was in senior high school at the time. I don't want to go back to school with a half patch. I'm not doing that.
Right.
So they said my leg, and then they checked, and then they got it. We had to do, after all of those scans were done, that was when we started our consultation at Kolebu, and Dr. Karim had come in. So he was checking it, and he was like, he's not seen the condition before, so he's going to get another colleague of his to also, because he's a gynecologist, but his colleague is a urologist. And for this type of case, you need a gynecologist who is also a urologist. So Dr. Ganyaglo came in, and he was the urologist. And then he said, wait, this is a condition he's read in the books. He hasn't seen it before. He hasn't experienced that condition before, but he's interested in having it. And that was the first time that I heard of the Mayer-Rokitansky-Kaster-Hauser syndrome. And there are two types. Type 1, you come in with a half-developed uterus. And the type 2, you have no uterus at all. You can't even menstruate. And I had just half, but there's no opening.
For it to come out?
Yes. So he sat me down, told me, do I need another person to come and be talking to me while they are talking to me? And I'm seated and I'm just confused.
You're young, exactly, yeah.
I don't know what is happening. And my father has tears in his eyes because he doesn't know what is going on. They explained to me, they had a therapist sitting there. Honestly, I don't even know why, because anything they were saying, I was not listening. All I knew is they said another surgery. And prior to that, because of the surgeries I had had previously, I had scars there.
Yes, to scoop them.
And my colleagues in school would see it, and they would always have something to say. Some people would be nice about it, but not everybody is so nice. Some people would be very mean about it. And so I'm seated, and then I'm like, oh, shoot, I'm about to go under the knife. And my father is sitting there, and he's telling me, don't worry, I'll be there with you every step of the way. But he's encouraging me and motivating me, but I can also, of course, I'm not dumb. I can hear what the doctors are saying, and they don't seem sure of what they're about to do. I mean, Dr. Ganyaglo is standing there telling me that this is the first time he's
seen this.
So I'm like, how can I trust that this thing will go well? Well, they told us that we can trust. And there's always opportunity to get back in there and then do any correction if anything goes wrong. But then they explained to me that what they're going to do is, because it is underdeveloped and it's just like a little piece of it sticking out, they're going to create a graft, attach it, put the tube in there, and then drill out, and then put a tube.
Okay. Okay, so fast forward. I'm aware you've done about 15 to 16 surgeries?
Actually, 8.
8?
Eight,
okay.
yes. 8 surgeries.
I was wondering, how can one
yeah,
8 surgeries in all? And were they able to graft it? Were they able to do that?
They were, and they were very cool about it. They were able to, give me like they use that, when you go to the hospital, the consulting rooms, they have that their toy plastic thing.
Yes,
so they use that to show me what exactly they were going to do. And it looked like a basket, to be very honest. And then they showed me what tube they were going to use. They gave us the option of a plastic tube or silicone tube, and then my father chose the plastic one.
I wish
which was a bad idea.
Yes, I wish you had chosen the silicone one. So now that would you go for a silicone one in the near future?
You remember when we started talking, I told you that I got sick earlier in May.
Yes.
So the thing is, what is giving me the sickness? Because the plastic has been in there for a while.
So long, your body
it's making me susceptible to infections. Yes. So somebody could just sneeze near me, and then I'll get sick. So when we went to 37, now we're at 37, they told us either they swap it out, or I decide to take antibiotics for as long as...
So it's silicone now, that's what I mean?
No, it's plastic now. I have still not... honestly, I don't know how I feel about it. Because every time I look in the mirror, or I look at myself in the mirror, I see so many scars. And I don't know if I'm mentally there yet.
Yes.
So I'd rather take the antibiotics. When I'm ready, I'll go back.
Okay. I was going to ask you how you're mentally feeling about it. You've just answered the question. It's just taking you back a bit. However, how do you encourage yourself when you feel extremely low? Do you ever ask yourself why this is happening to me?
I have asked. I have. Because my brother is a very strong person. My little sister, bigger than I am, taller than I am. She's very active. And I like to believe that I'm a very talented person. So why can it not happen to other people rather than me? Because if I was the easiest birth, I might as well just easy up my way through life. But then I've come to believe that sometimes things happen so God can show people that he's still in the miracle working business. And I like to use my life as that example. Many times I have died and come back. 14 hours in surgery is no joke. But I'm here. At the end of the day, I can't complain too much. Even if I wanted to, I can't.
But how does it make you feel when you ask yourself, will I ever get married? Will someone accept me? Will he take me for who I am? Can I ever have children?
Yes, I have had those questions. I've been told that with the graft, I can hold a baby, but when labor sets in, I probably would want to go in for a CS. And I think those are good odds for me. But I have also thought about dating somebody, having to explain all of this to them. Everybody receives this type of news differently. I don't know how they might take it, because I never dated growing up. I only decided to date after uni. The very first person that we were friends at the time, we were talking, he told me to my face that he doesn't think that I can have kids, so he would want to stay away. I said, okay, sure. I wasn't hurt. I think at the time, myself, I was believing so much that, oh my God, I can't have kids. So it's fine if somebody told me that, but now I'm okay. And I do think that there are people that when I explain this to them, they would definitely understand. Whoever I end up with would definitely understand.
So you're single now?
Yes.
But you're open to...
Yes.
To relate?
Most definitely, I am.
How do your immediate family members, how do they encourage you? How did they keep you sane? When
My father always tells me, be. You're bold, you're beautiful, you're brainy. Nobody, he tells me that he doesn't know any other person that would be able to go through what I have gone through and then still survive. But I'm here. And he thinks that I am his best trophy. And I think those words are what does it for me. To be his best trophy.
And your sisters and your brothers?
My brother, Gabriel, God bless him. When everything started in 2011, that even my parents weren't really believing me when I said that my brother would hold a hot towel over my tummy for hours on end. Yeah, we broke up. My brother would hold me in his room for hours. He would pray over me. I'm so hurt that he's not in the country anymore, because then he would have come here with me. He has done so well. And I think it means a lot to me that he's in medical school now. And last week he told me that he's decided to specialize in gynae and obstetrics because of me. And I think that is the greatest sacrifice anybody can do for, their family or friend or anything. For my kid sister, she's still young, so she's still living in, on magic land. But I love that because of my situation, my parents were very proactive with my little sister growing up. Because the moment she clocked 11, they decided to take her to the hospital to check. And thankfully, she's okay. She's great. So, yeah.
Right, now let's go back to the surgery experiences. Which of them really broke you?
2014, 2016. 2014, one thing about me, I think that I am strong. And so right after the fourth surgery, I decided I wanted to go back to school immediately. And then everybody was telling me, no, you shouldn't go back. And I went to school. I got sick in school, I think 3 days after I got in school, and then they took me to the St. Joseph's Hospital in Koforidua. At the time, I had the stitches in, and then one of the doctors decided he was going to take the stitches out. And I kept telling him that I had been told not to touch it. And then he was like, oh, he knows what he's about. That is the reason why my tummy is aching. He took out the stitches and then told my house mistress, she went to the hospital with me, told her, oh, I'll be fine. You give me some drugs. And we got back to campus, and then my skin was opening up. That thing traumatized. And I didn't see it. It was somebody that was coming towards us that was like, Tabitha, Madam Stella, there's something on her shit. And so I proceeded to lift my shirts, and I saw that because the stitches had been taken out, the suture was coming apart. That day, I think it's a miracle because I knew that my dad was out of the country. But when we called home, immediately my mom said my dad had just called that he had also gotten to the airport. So he drove 45 minutes from Accra to Koforidua.
Wait, hang on. At that point, that's whoever saw that you were opening up. Was there no notion to take you back to the hospital?
They were afraid to take me back to St. Joseph's because that's the same place we went to, and then they had opened me up. So they were trying to find like a major hospital, and then my father was like, nobody should touch me. He's bringing me back to Kolebu.
You were bleeding at that time?
Yes. So we had to drive back to Kolebu. And then when we got there, they told me as my punishment for not insisting on the doctor not taking...
As your punishment?
Yes, they're going to stitch me back up without anesthesia. I cried that day. The way I cried, my father was shaking. So I think that is... Amidst all of it, that day was the most traumatizing for me.
Same day?
Same day. I was just telling God, please let me die, because if they put the pin in, but I think that because I was in so much pain, I didn't really feel like the pain of getting stitched up. I was just lying there. I think that one was more, and then in 2016, there was a procedure I did, but I think when they stitched me up, I don't know what they did, and then I couldn't pee for a week. So they had to come and open up and then try to make me.
Hey!
So those two.
Hang on, let's dissect that one. You couldn't pee for a whole week?
Yes.
Bloating?
Nobody's. No. So they opened up, did something, and I think when they were stitching,
they mistakenly stitched
and it didn't occur to anybody because I had a catheter in. So we all assumed
okay.
I had peed, and then the nurses had come to offload it and then put it back in. So by Friday, my father had come in the morning with my mom to give me food, because at Kolebu, they weren't allowing my mom to sleep in there with me. So my parents would have to go and sit on the concrete slab outside Kolebu, and they'd be coming in to check in on me. So when he came in, he was like, are you okay? Then I said, no, I have pain in my abdomen. And he was like, why? I said, I don't know. He said, okay, he's going to find Dr. Karim. Found Dr. Karim, brought him, and then Dr. Karim asked me immediately, have you peed? And I said, I don't know, because there's a catheter in it. And he asked the nurses, has any of them come in to change the catheter? And they said no. They said, why didn't anybody tell him anything? So now, the fresh hole he has created, he has to put something in there and see if any liquid will come out or not, and then proceed to press on my tummy. Mind you, I still have a very fresh wound. I think that's...
Yes.
So it's always like this. And thankfully, they kept cutting through the same place, so it's like it made the scars not too much. Then he pressed down on it.
The pain. I can imagine.
So... Those two experiences really changed my perspective on pain. People don't know real pain till you can't pee for a week.
Yes.
That's when you know real pain. So
the pain.
Yeah, those two.
Okay, let me veer off a bit. Are you sexually active? Is it?
I mean, because of the dilation,
yes,
you are sexually active in a certain way, you know, but I will try.
When you say in a certain way, oral or penetration?
No. With the dilation, so the way the dilation is done, you have to lay down supine on the floor, lift your knees, and then put the dilator in. But you have to in, out,
Poking it.
yes. When you're tired, you just leave it in for like an hour.
Oh my God.
Because it's like the way you get a piercing. When you don't put an earring in it closes. Yes, that's how it is.
Wow.
Yes. So when I decide to...
I'm asking because we saw a video of you and someone you had been in a relationship with. I felt that I should ask if you were prone to having closeness, intimacy with this person because of your condition.
Oh, you see, one thing I say, no matter what has happened, Izzy is a very sweet person. He got to experience some of these things with me. He would stay in the hospital with me and everything. And so I think that gave him an idea of what was happening. And so he wouldn't push for anything. He would always understand. Yeah. I think he's helped me with my dilation even before. So, yeah. He was very understanding.
Okay, let's get to Lois and then let's have one or two.
Girl.
Hi.
I mean, I've already said it, that you're loved and you're very strong.
Thank you.
I don't know anyone who would openly talk about such things, also because of how the world perceives people with different conditions, but you're doing really well. And I think all the young girls are proud of you because, again, this story, many people may relate but never have the courage to talk about. But yes, we will take a few of the messages. This one says that, Yaa Bitha, you are such a strong young woman. The fact that you can go through so much and still show up with a smile is inspiring. Someone also says that, I hope Yaa knows that so many young girls are watching her. Sometimes just seeing another young woman keep doing or going despite what she's facing gives somebody strength. This one also says, I followed Yaa because of her content, but hearing her story today has made me respect her even more. You really never know what someone is dealing with behind the beautiful pictures and the videos. This one says, as a young girl myself, I really admire her strength. Yeah, please never underestimate the impact your story and your content has on young girls who look up to you. And this one also says, how does Yaa find strength to keep creating content and showing up publicly, even on days when she may be struggling privately?
Let's let her answer that.
I think that my motivation mainly comes from my passion. I've always wanted to be a journalist. So sometimes sitting in front or behind the camera gives me so much joy. I mean, on a regular day, you'll find me seated somewhere just editing videos and all of that, or recording a voiceover. And I think I'm doing something that I love. I don't think a lot of people get the chance to do the things that they love. And that helps keep me going.
Incredible.
Wonderful.
This one also says, hello, Tabitha. You have gone through so much, yet you're always joyful and strong. You are such a cheerful lady back in SHS. Continue to love yourself and also remain a happy soul. Hugs to you, dear. Your B-King and Yaneba house sister here. Ghost 2016, Yaa Bitha. This one also says, sorry you have to go through these. May God bless you immensely. And this one also says, this is why I love when content creators share the real parts of their lives too. Yaa is reminding young girls that strength doesn't mean you never struggle. Sometimes it's simply continuing despite it. And this one says that, Yaa, you're beautiful, talented, and incredibly strong. I hope every young girl watching you understands that the person she admires online has battles too. Thank you for being brave enough to share yours.
Thank you.
And you speak so well. Yaa speaks excellently well. Whenever again, I see your content so much. And personally, I'm proud of who you are.
Thank you.
What you're doing. And keep going.
Thank you.
Right.
It's heavy, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So let's move on from this. Let's lighten the mood a bit. I don't like how I'm feeling. Right. If there's anyone out there who's going through what you're going through, like you're saying, per your own experiences, what's the best way you'd encourage them?
Thankfully, a lot of people have reached out, and so I've been telling them these are the scans I have. I have all of them on paper in my documents, so I keep sending them, these are the scans that I got, and I think that you should go. Honestly, the Accra Diagnosis Center is the best place to go to, because even if you don't know what you want to get, you can go there and explain to them that, this, and then they'll give you a doctor, and then he will suggest what to go and get scanned or get tested. But most importantly, I would say start with prayer. Prayer is truly the key, because sometimes I feel like if it wasn't for the prayers that they gave me or I set myself, I probably wouldn't be here. You start off with prayer and a lot of reading. I always say I am thankful that my father imbibed reading into us. And so the moment I sat in the consulting rooms and they were mentioning all of these things, the first thing I did was I'm going to Oprah Mini to go and check. I'm going to Oprah Mini to go and check, or Facebook to go and see. At the time, I wasn't seeing a lot of people with that condition. But then as I grew through it, from 2012, 2013 to 2016, there's been advancement in technology a lot. So I've been able to read properly on it, and I think that if you should read about it. Also, if you have any sibling who is past 16 or 17 that hasn't menstruated yet, I think this is your sign to go see the doctor, because it is very, very important that you should do that.
When you pray,
yeah,
what do you say?
I thank God for giving me the opportunity to live. Then I ask Him, is there anything you can change about my life for me? I'm human. Of course, sometimes when these things come into my head, I'm like, oh God, would somebody love me? Would somebody, And I'm just saying this as a form of a joke, right? I have shared this story with an American who at the time was interested in me. I mean, things didn't work out because of the distance and everything, but he was a lot more understanding of it than like a local person, because when you tell the person, the first thing they ask you is, can you have sex? Which very evident from men and women alike. The first thing they ask you, oh, can you have sex? Like, there's so many other things you can focus on this, but you're focusing on just the sexual part. There are days where I've asked God that, please, if it's not in my destiny to have kids, change that story for me, because I would love to have kids. Yes, change that thing for me. And I keep saying that every time I go down on my knees, I tell God, even though I'm still living with this, I'm still sick and everything, but I believe that you've kept me here for a reason. And for whatever reason it is, please let your will be done.
Social media handles, and then we can wrap up.
Also, if you or anybody you know is suffering from this, please reach out to me. A lot of people are reaching out, and I love that. If there are any associations, groups, institutions, grants, whatever, please reach out to me. I'm on Instagram as _Yaa Bitha _, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter. It's Yaa Bitha everywhere basically, but you can also reach me on the number 024-995-3122. 024-995-3122. Let's talk more.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
I really appreciate it. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to also share the story.
Thank you, Lois. And thank you, everyone watching. We appreciate you. To Malta Guinness, thank you for holding us down. To Didishito, we appreciate you. My name is Nikki Samunas, and I'll see you on Friday.